Very rarely does a change come along to Twitch that I feel really does anything to, well, change anything or change how you grow your audience. Don't get me wrong, they release lots of features, some good and, well, some bad. But in the last 2.5 years, no changes have happened that really shake the platform to its core. And if a change did, like the preview update I covered a few weeks ago and absolutely loved, well, they usually revert that change back within about 2 weeks. Until now, the Twitch Adpocalypse. I mean, the Twitch ad incentive program? Oh, that's so weird. It's sunny outside today. Jokes aside, this video isn't designed to bash Twitch at all. I do still love the platform, and I think they have all of the data and information they need to understand what these changes are going to do. In fact, I think you'd have to be very arrogant to think you know more than Amazon and Twitch's analysts. So why am I making this video? Well, because I'm arrogant, obviously. I'm just kidding, obviously. This video is going to cover the facts, clear up some myths, and hopefully give you guys the tools to understand what the heck this update is and how it's going to actually affect you and your viewers. I will do my best to show no bias because everyone seems to have a pretty intense bias to one side or the other. Is this update good or bad? Well, to answer that question straight away, both sides of this argument are wrong. The update is good and it's also bad, but because of the bias, they can't see that both sides have valid points, especially because the argument mostly revolves around whether creators deserve to get paid a livable wage. And the fact this ad incentive will give many creators a livable wage on Twitch, which is something that is hard to have. And that is great, they'll finally get paid. Nobody is disagreeing that every creator deserves to be paid for the content they create, right? You watching this agree that ads are usually fine if it supports the creator's content. Good, I agree as well. On that note, let me tell you about our sponsor, Own.tv. I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Own.tv. You guys should know about Own by now. They're a fantastic resource for any streamer at all, but not just Twitch streamers. With all the changes to YouTube and Twitch lately, a lot of you guys are considering moving to YouTube. So I want to take a second to say, not only does Own have both animated overlays, alerts, and more for your Twitch stream, but also they've got an entire category on their site dedicated to YouTube streamers. These packs are entirely modular. You can install them with one click and then pick and choose whatever parts you want to use, so your stream A never looks exactly like everyone else's, but it also doesn't hog excess CPU resources and slow down your gameplay. Massive thank you to Own for supporting this channel as well, so if you guys want to support me, go and support them with the link in the description. It really helps me out. Straight out of the gate, let me give you a brief rundown of what the ad incentive program actually is. After all, you might be happily living under a rock and making content, not aware of all the drama and arguments. And I'm a bit jealous of you if you are that person. You see, the ad incentive program in its most basic explanation is designed to pay Twitch streamers a flat sum if they run a certain number of ads and also give them a better rate for running ads in general. At the start of each month, Twitch partners involved in the program are offered 3 different tiers of incentive. The incentives are personalized and based purely on that creator, offering them different amounts of money to run more or less ads per hour, and would guarantee that pay if the streamer ran the ads and streamed a certain number of hours each month. At the start of the month, you have to pick one or none of these offers. You can't later choose to swap to another offer. I know I said I'd explain it basics, and that does sound pretty complicated, but when you see the offers on screen, you'll understand what I mean. For example, if you run 2 minutes of ads per hour and stream for 40 hours, you might get a personalized offer of $100. Or if you choose to run 3 minutes of ads per hour and stream 40 hours, they might offer you $300. Or if you're Baru, they offer you 44,000 American dollars to run 6 minutes of ads every hour and stream 155 hours to your 7,000 average viewers. That is a huge sum of money. Or another creator here who was offered $22,000 to run 10 minutes of ads every hour and stream 200 hours to a much lower average viewer of 2,000. That said, I will admit, I think these offers here are outliers. The majority aren't getting paid these giant payouts. They'll get a decent amount, but not what equates to essentially a year's wage in 1 month. Which leads us to ask the question, how is all of this calculated? Well, that is where it gets complicated again. First, the hour requirements are based on your previous month's hours streamed. It won't ask you to stream 100 hours unless you did that last month. Now, obviously, if you stream more every month, that means you likely will run more ads. So the offer is going to be higher. And obviously, if you have more viewers, well, that means Twitch will offer you more as well, because undeniably, it's more valuable to run ads to more people. But there are other factors, such as where you live. Are advertisers paying for ads in your country or where the majority of your viewers are coming from? For example, if the majority of your viewers are from Turkey and advertisers aren't paying for ads to be shown in Turkey, you might get less offered in the incentive. I will say I don't know if Turkey is big in the advertiser space. It is just an example. Please don't at me. Another big factor is, of course, the time of year. Since most advertisers buy ads leading up to the big holidays around Christmas, because people spend money around then, the incentives will be higher near the end of the year, for example. Interestingly, they also factor in how many of your audience is watching ad-free. So if your entire audience is subscribed or potentially has Twitch Turbo, you might receive less of an incentive. Essentially, there are a lot of factors at play, and I will link the FAQ on all of this in the description if you want to learn more about it, but that is the basics for now. Before we move on to talk about what this all means, I want to clear up a myth and a misunderstanding that even I fell for. These incentives are prorated. This means if you accept an offer of $200 to run, say, 2 minutes of ads per hour and stream 40 hours, but you only streamed 20 hours, well, as long as you still ran 2 minutes per hour, they will pay you the $100. Essentially, if you miss the hours goal, you'll still get paid for what you did in the month, which is amazing and a big win for Twitch. That's a great thing for creators. Something that isn't a win for Twitch though, and I would love to see implemented, is an offer that will always be consistently 3 minutes. I would hate it as a creator if 1 month I opened up my ad incentive and I saw that there was a 5 minute, a 7 minute, and a 10 minute incentive. I might not want to run 5 minutes. So why can't I always just have the 3 minute offer and get a consistent pay that way? Or give us a slider that lets us say how much we're willing to run, commit to, and then go from there. Now, I wanted to ask you watching this, and please honestly let me know in the comments because this is important to the conversation. From what I've just shown you, would you be willing to run 6 to 10 minutes of ads per hour? I personally think that many of you would say yes, but the truth is that it isn't that simple. We need to talk about our goals as creators and our specific audience. First, what happens when you run a mid-roll ad? Well, you're bound to lose viewers. You see, the ads are literally interrupting the content, so viewers leave to go somewhere else, especially if it's literally a 6-minute block of ads per hour interrupting. After all, that is 10% of your content being hidden and covered by ads. But there are good reasons to run mid-rolls outside of revenue. For example, in the past, I have recommended running mid-rolls as well. Usually my recommendation is to run 60 to 90 seconds per hour to turn pre-rolls off for roughly 30 to 50% of the time you are live. The reason we want to turn off pre-rolls is because data says that people are more likely to sit through mid-rolls than they are pre-rolls, boosting your new viewer discovery. That said, 60 to 90 seconds of ads is much lower than 3, 5, or 6 minutes, or even 10 minutes, obviously. A problem with my past advice, though, is that I wasn't clear enough, and I want to take this moment to give more context and to actually criticize myself. I gave that advice, but failed to explain in a deeper way or clearer way that this only benefits you if you have a consistent amount of new viewers clicking your stream. If you're a tiny streamer, say you have 5 to 15 average viewers who always come in and watch you, but you don't have external funnels like TikTok, a YouTube channel, or you aren't sitting somewhere that will consistently bring new viewers into your stream, well, running mid-rolls to turn off pre-rolls is kind of pointless. After all, you're just making a worse viewing experience for your 5 to 15 viewers who are your regulars, and turning off pre-rolls that nobody is seeing anyway because nobody new is ever clicking your stream. However, if you're a medium to large creator, or similar to myself, you might have consistently new viewers clicking your stream thanks to a YouTube channel, well, it's another story. You want to get as many people through the door and into your content as possible, so pre-rolls being off is far more valuable. I did think I explained this clear enough in previous videos, but hopefully this gives better or further context into the ad conversation. And this is why I say that it isn't simple. You need to carefully consider your goals and your audience, because mid-roll ads without argue make a worse viewing experience for your audience. But at the same time, you deserve to be paid, or potentially need to run them to get more viewers in past those pre-rolls. So let's talk about how mid-rolls are a worse viewing experience, because I know I just said you can't argue it, but people are. You see, ads inherently are counterintuitive to a live experience. They interrupt content, they hide or cover content, and the only way they don't do that is if streamers take breaks every hour to run those ads. But because of the culture around live streaming, well, taking 5 to 10 minute breaks every hour is also going to make worse content and cause you to lose viewers. It is just a fact. Even if those breaks might be healthier for the creator, it's worse for the growth because it interrupts the content. This is why when people talk about how TV or YouTube have far more than 5 to 6 minutes of ads per hour, it becomes a straw man argument. Those ads aren't interrupting the content the same way. It's a break, but also the quality of TV and YouTube is usually a lot higher than a Twitch stream. People are willing to sit through ads so they can get back to the $1 million budget TV show they are watching, or they're willing to sit through 5 seconds so they can skip it, something that isn't available on Twitch. So what about live sports? This is another example people bring up when discussing running more ads being good. Well, ironically, live sports has one of the largest ad densities of almost any media. Someone scored a goal? Well, let's watch that replay back on the KFC bucket camera. And the game doesn't stop or take a break. In fact, much like a stream, the ads often cover or interrupt the game, meaning viewers miss out on the content, they miss out on the sport. So why are we okay with this? Because live sports are an event, a once-in-a-lifetime, unmissable piece of content. Don't take this the wrong way, but your live stream sitting in your underwear playing Fortnite for 5 hours is not unmissable content. There are tens of thousands of other streams doing the same content or better than yours that your viewers could go watch instead, where they might not be running 6 to 10 minutes of ads every single hour. Or they could go watch any of the millions of YouTube videos out there. Heck, they could open a new tab, throw on some Netflix, and instead watch Edge Runners, which everyone should, by the way, because that is a banger show. Essentially, as a streamer, you have to accept that running ads, not running ads, accepting the incentive, or not accepting the incentive, isn't black and white. You have to understand what works for your audience, what your goals are as a creator, and make a choice from there. But I do know you guys want to know what I plan on doing and what I think, even though I promised to be unbiased. Look, it's no secret that I love ads. Not watching them, but I do love them as a system for a creator. I think ads are an amazing way for creators to make money. The reason is because ads don't cost viewers anything other than their time, which is amazing because your viewers are likely overworked, underpaid, and don't have much extra income to support your lifestyle with fan funding such as subs, bits, and donations. So yes, the ad incentive program is amazing because it is a way to earn without bleeding your audience dry. Except the problem, as we said earlier, is that you're making a choice to create a worse viewing experience, to impact your content in order to do this. So while it is good for your viewer's wallet, it isn't good for the view count. This is a rock and a hard place, and you are in the middle. Hence why anyone who says the words, "If you don't like it, just don't take it," is an absolute fool. You see, as a streamer, you are practically forced to take the ad incentive or instead to milk money from your viewers' wallets directly. Weirdly though, the people who push the narrative of how it's good for their viewers' wallets also push the narrative of just use the increased number of ads to push them to subscribe if it's such a bad experience, which makes absolutely no sense because then we are simply double dipping, making a worse viewing experience and asking them to pay us directly while threatening them with more ads. And if everyone does sub, well, next month, based on how Twitch says people watching ad-free lowers your incentive amount, doesn't that mean you're just setting it up to have a worse payday next month? That is an honest question I would like answered, by the way. And if I haven't yet, now is definitely the time where I'm going to start showing my bias. Why did I say at the start and title this video with the clickbait calling it the Adpocalypse? Well, because as a streamer, we saw and understood that running 60 to 90 seconds of mid-rolls, even just to turn off pre-rolls, had impacts on our retention rate. We did it anyway if we knew those viewers that left we made up for by new viewers coming in and not getting a pre-roll, of course. But as streamers, we still had to deal with and saw the complaints constantly around running mid-rolls. Anyone with an audience knows the moment you run a mid-roll, you get people writing in chat, "Oh, I've got an ad. Oh, 6 ads. Oh, 3 ads." They hate it. Now, if we had that much trouble before, imagine how many viewers would leave if instead of 90 seconds, it said 6 minutes. A block of dozens of ads back to back for 6 minutes straight is horrendous for viewer retention. It's interrupting content and they're entirely unskippable. Not to mention the fact one of the major complaints is viewers keep seeing the same ads over and over with not much diversity, which we all agree is annoying to see the same guy popping up over and over, telling you the same thing over and over without much diversity. Now, if the majority of streamers on the platform accept this deal and start running large chunks of ads every single hour, well, what do you think is going to happen? They're all going to get paid a livable wage and their viewers are going to subscribe more to their channels, so they'll make bank on both of those things. This is the wishful thinking of many people, and it shows a wild amount of privilege. Because the truth is, viewers can't afford to subscribe to all of their favorite streamers just so they don't see ads constantly. The real answer is the majority of them will leave for a better viewer experience. Eljay, that's why we promote Twitch Turbo. It's the cheap option for them, and it turns off ads for the entire platform. Congratulations, you've figured out the problem all on your own. If viewers can't afford multiple Twitch subscriptions to avoid ads, they can buy Twitch Turbo, the monthly subscription with the amazing revenue split of 100-0, 100% to Twitch, 0% to the streamer. And you guys were complaining when Twitch announced that they were only doing 50-50 sub revenue splits. If you thought that was bad, I don't know what you guys think about 100-0. And if you don't believe me, well, they've started advertising Twitch Turbo as a pop-up now. This is a screenshot that I got DM'd by someone, and honestly, I am not surprised whatsoever. So yes, the incentive has a lot of amazing pros. Better for the streamers' wallets, better for the viewers' wallets. But it also has major cons in hurting the viewer experience and potentially driving viewers away from your stream and the platform, while potentially cutting down on subs in favor of Twitch Turbo. But the best part of all of this, well, it really doesn't affect me at all. Why? Well, I'm a YouTuber and a YouTube streamer these days, and we don't have an ad incentive. Instead, our videos make us ad revenue without interrupting your experience. Our memberships are 70-30 splits, as you can see with the join button below. And not to mention, we have better discovery tools for small creators such as shorts and an actual algorithm that if you want to learn more about, then click this video right here that is popping up above my new red light instead of my purple light. I'll see you guys next week.